Welcome to another episode of the Oddfathers podcast.
Because 2 or 3 of them we got to take out, so we can't count those.
Why can't we count them? We count everything.
I don't know. Those episodes are.
All right, let's just fucking get right into it.
Okay, let's get into it. There's 3 people that accidentally just heard us now, so we're going to talk to those people.
But like what?
I just want
to
to give you all a little heads up.
On a ham radio?
There's not going to be any fucking guests.
Yeah, there'll be guests.
There ain't no damn so-called comic. There's not
He's not so-called. He's not so-called.
So-called. Do you know what the definition of a comic is?
Yeah, somebody who works doing stand-up comedy.
Somebody that makes you laugh, and I didn't fucking smile. I mean, the guy's terrible.
It wasn't like a comedy festival.
Yeah, no, it was about, let's talk about Anthony's non-comic fucking job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
He tried to analyze me. He got me to open up. Unlike you.
You don't need to open up. There's nothing to open up about. You ain't doing
exactly.
it.
So with that being said, that counseling session you had, did it help? Did it take you, help you lead
yes,
one
it did.
to take a step forward or something?
Then you should have gigs, because that's all he talked about. I guess. I don't know what the fuck he talked about. It wasn't funny.
Anthony's headlighting stores or
stores.
Stores.
Yeah.
He's
Walmart.
headlighting stores.
Walmart.
He's got them set up out front.
Yeah.
He's got shows. He's got new bits. He's throwing it out there.
Whatever.
Break.
I'm just warning everybody.
Anthony's trying to feed people as encouragement to come listen to his comedy.
Yeah. I'm trying to do anything.
I just want anyone to know that there's not going to be a guest on. It's back to normal. We're here. Love you.
We will have guests, Buster.
Well, you'll have a guest.
Yes, there'll be guests. You just didn't, you just kind of clammed up. Kind of like Troy when Levy was on.
I fell asleep. That's why I didn't clam up. I was snoring.
I don't know. I find him amusing. I like talking to him.
He's not amusing, and he wasn't amusing. He wasn't good, so let's skip him.
Okay. Do you think he's listening to this show?
No. Fucking no one's
He's got
listening
to do. He's recuperating from his 100,000 person show from last night.
Yeah. No, he's busy, dude. He's traveling. He works. He's great. He's hysterical.
He is. He's doing funny. The local Walmart too.
See, that's the thing. I think that's the most the misconception is that people think that, but people think that comics are always supposed to be on. You know what I mean? I guess if you're on a podcast, you should be.
Exactly. I was going to say.
All right, but you know what I mean? Most of the time.
How about occasionally on?
How
about just occasionally? Once or twice?
All right. You earned it. You earned it. All right.
So, whatever.
The Oddfathers.
So it's not all going to be comedy.
No, it never. Obviously, it never was.
It obviously is.
Thanks. I think today we're having serious conversations.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
We're getting down to brass tacks.
All right, let's rock.
Troy's here. By the way, Troy it is.
Yeah.
We're back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I'm happy for that.
Anthony, Monte, whatever the fuck his name is here. And Buster now, that is a known name because of South Carolina. That ain't cool at all. I don't know if anyone's seen the trial.
Oh
yeah. I think that's a good intro.
That's a good
trial, dude. All of a sudden, I find out that Buster sucks a dick. I'm like, oh, great.
That explains a lot, though.
Everybody in this neighborhood was like, I knew it.
Yeah. Well, what was their name?
Murdaugh. Yeah.
The Murdaugh trials in South Carolina when he murdered his wife and Paul, which is my other name, Paul. Great. Buster is his oldest son.
Yeah, but you have to explain Paul. It has more of a meaning now. That's what you're...
Well, that's my grandfather name too. Yeah, it's Paul. But
yeah.
So I don't know. Something's weird. We don't have the pull like he does in Fort Myers. He had it in South Carolina.
Well, you didn't have that much pull.
Well, obviously they did, but I'm telling you, did you see any of this, Troy?
Mm-mm.
No.
My wife talked about it. I saw a little bit that was on the clips of news.
If you know our Buster, you can't help but not think about him when you look at this family.
Because they're redheaded and stuff like that.
Yes. I mean,
there are similarities, except they got a lot more money.
Yeah. Well, aside from that.
So the guy broke down the road, and he called Buster to help him.
Yeah, I know.
Buster went out there and beat him with a hammer.
I think it was baseball. I think they were coming from a ball game.
Yeah, baseball. Yeah,
right?
Baseball or softball.
It's like Brokeback Mountain shit.
Well,
like we're gonna do boy things.
Well, what I think was happening was this boy was going to could have ratted him out, or maybe said something like, you don't stop busting my chops, I'll tell everybody. Supposedly they had some kind of intimacy or something. So You know,
the guy that's sucking my dick better not say a word. I'll hit you with a fucking bat.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you're in South Carolina too. This isn't the fucking.
Come on, let's go fishing.
The west side of LA or whatever it's called.
No, they were way out in the boonies too. This guy,
yeah,
and he was definitely
they had a good
gay.
setup. They had a good setup. The guy was on, but the attorney. I mean, they had really
setup.
did. They had multiple houses. I mean, they lived large, dude. They lived good.
The Murdaugh guy.
Yeah, the whole family.
They did.
Yeah, but he wasn't even
grandfather. I think it was the grandfather or great grandfather. One of them was the solicitor, which was basically.
He was like the main attorney.
The old time version of like maybe
mayor.
No.
What do you call a solicitor?
Maybe a district attorney or something like that.
Like the main
guy.
Solicitor is called that?
Back in the day, that's what they called it. Look it up. Stop writing.
Nowadays, you know what a solicitor is?
No, I know. That's what I was thinking. I figured it was somebody that was like trying to bring people to the town.
I'm saying the right word, right? So it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the grandfather or great grandfather. Anyway,
it was the great grandfather. I guess he was.
A solicitor is a legal practitioner who traditionally deals with most of the legal matters in some jurisdictions. A person must have legally defined qualifications, which vary from one jurisdiction to another, to be described as a solicitor and enabled to practice there as such.
Okay. So basically, he's
an attorney.
He was the judge, jury,
he was an attorney.
And he was the man. He was the law.
No doubt about it.
It says so. Is a solicitor and an attorney, a lawyer the same? It says essentially a lawyer and a solicitor mean the same thing. A lawyer is a term used to describe anyone who is licensed and can give legal advice as a business
He was
and
a
organization.
fucking attorney.
Yeah.
Don't let Troy get going. He'll fucking read the whole internet.
I'm going to take you down a history lesson.
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Good Lord.
So he's an attorney. They just wanted to make it sound different.
So they were all attorneys, but
Morgan was behind that. He's like, I don't attach my name to this, so I'm a lawyer. He's a solicitor.
Yeah, he's not going to attach his name to this either.
He would if he could make money.
Probably. Anyway.
But anyway, Buster's a redheaded guy, and he's probably going to be the next one going down.
So he just got, two consecutive life sentences? Or
his dad did, yeah.
Right. The dad.
Alec.
And he was on pills. And
so is the boy in trouble too now?
They're going after the boy for the gay guy's death.
From a long time ago?
Yeah, before this.
All of a sudden this opened up the keys to the castle,
I think there's always been an ongoing investigation into these people for a while. What happened was Paul, the young boy, was hammered, got behind the wheel of his boat, and hit a bridge, hit a piling, and threw people off the boat. And one girl suffered,
she died.
Head trauma. Right, she died. So there was a whole big thing and how they tried to cover it up. It was like the documentary. I watched it like the day or 2 days prior to the sentencing.
So it came out before?
Yeah.
Like, how can you be a jury, though, and ignore that?
It wasn't talking about his trial. It was what happened before.
Right.
But what prompted this? That timing is kind of suspect.
Well, he's been arrested for a year. So, the trial was 2 years after their death. It's been 2 years since they are at least a year.
So it comes out, though, right, as he's getting sentenced?
Yeah.
And you're telling me the juries are not like...
During his trial, this was out. And it led up to, like, the most recent part.
It was the maid.
Right? Yeah. And then they talked about the maid died, too, but the fact that his wife and son were dead, and who saw people removing guns. It was using a drone. I mean, it was all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on.
Well, from what I know and what my wife's told me, of all of her attorneys that she does, there was not one attorney said that he was going to be convicted. They all said he was guilty, but they said within a reasonable amount of doubt. Like they said that the prosecution did not do a very good job. They said that there's no reason that this guy's wrong. Well, they were wrong, but not one of them.
Yeah, but
all of them said he was guilty. Like it's been pretty obvious, I guess, that he was guilty.
Yeah, but now are they saying? I wonder if they would say he's not guilty now because he got on he took the stand. You know what I mean?
Through the case, all I just know is my wife, when she comes home and she talks about it, because she was following this shit because that's what everybody else was doing, like the OJ case. And she was saying that every one of their attorneys, and some of these are respectable attorneys in town, every one of them was basically saying the prosecution did not make a case for it.
All right, so they're saying this after the fact?
No. Going into the verdict.
Oh.
Before the verdict. They're like, there's no way this guy's getting convicted. He's guilty, but there's no way what they've laid out that they can find him guilty.
Well, he lied so much.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's a murderer, though. And I do think he did it. I'm not saying that he did or he didn't. I don't know enough about it.
How would you even know? You didn't see the documentary. We're here telling you about the whole.
No,
the whole
but I'm
thing.
just telling you
the
what
trial.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like what's on the outside of it. I mean, I want to watch the documentary, but how many of those jurors watched the
But
documentary?
he lied. They did. I'm sure they didn't watch. I'm sure none of them watched
Oh,
it.
because if you're the juror and the judge says
they're kicking
you're
you
not
off.
allowed to watch TV,
No way. You
and you're
can't do
not
that.
going home and watching it.
No way.
Were they sequestered?
I think they were sequestered. I knew one of them got thrown off for yakking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she talked to somebody.
Really?
So she got thrown off. They're not going to allow them to do that.
You would have to be sequestered. There's no way that you could go home and this fucking thing's on Netflix and you don't watch it while you're
Well,
in the midst
you're
of
not
this.
supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to be a good
Yeah,
juror.
because everybody follows the rules.
They did there in South Carolina.
They did. He's guilty. Bye bye. And now they're going to appeal it too.
No, fuck, they're gonna appeal it for sure.
No, they won't. They can't even do it. He robbed so much money from his law firm. They're going to get him for that.
Well, that's the thing. I think if there's a possibility, they can get him on financial crimes and the murder gets
civil, right? It's going to be like another OJ.
But he admitted he lied that he wasn't there at the kennels. That's where they killed him.
Right.
And then they found a video on Paul's phone of hearing him there that minute, like 2 minutes before they both died.
Well, I personally haven't talked to any of these attorneys, but from my understanding of what they're saying, that there wasn't enough that was.
Well, go back and tell them they didn't know what they're doing.
No, I'm curious. I'm gonna.
It took
actually one of them I'm dealing with right now, so I would be curious to hear.
You're on assignment now. You're on assignment.
It literally took him 45 minutes to come back with a guilty.
No, and that's what's even more crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm curious about that because one of the attorneys I have open business with right now, so I will have to bring it up. I'll just add it to my $450 an hour tab.
All right.
I was going to say, did you get another traffic
disclaimer?
problem?
No, this is the on business side. This is not my.
Never mind.
My personal bad choices.
All right. I hope not.
Thank God. Thank God.
But anyway, I don't know where we went on that. It was just Buster, just my damn luck. The red-headed Buster, he looks like, I'm like, great.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits, like you said.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even getting my dick sucked. I mean, where do I get that?
Oh, my God.
You got to have a Bubba or whatever it is.
No, this guy was a flame and twink. He looked like you, kind of, like a Twinkie, but he didn't have a he didn't have a beard.
Like Troy.
Did you see it? Did you see the guy? He's a twink. He was Twinkie and me. And all the girls loved him because he was so outgoing. I'm like, yeah, I bet he was. Flamboyant.
Well, I think a lot of girls like the gay guys.
That's my point. That's exactly.
Rabbit hole.
It was
He's
exactly
just
right.
a safe choice.
He was a safe choice, all right, believe me. Except for Buster, he wasn't a safe choice.
Listen, I much rather have flamboyancy. Is that a word?
That is a word.
All right. Than closet, maniac who's, somebody who's like afraid not to be themselves. Like, I wouldn't want to be hanging out with somebody who's.
Yeah, but I mean, the question really begs it. I mean, I grew up with some gay guys. They weren't gay at the time, and then all of a sudden they start talking different when they go to college. So like, as all of a sudden it came
You sure
out.
it wasn't from hanging out with you?
No, like, I wouldn't even hang out. I'm just saying, kids that are all of a sudden they just start talking different and walking different.
We've
There's
always
no-
said a load of cum in your mouth is why they talk like that. There's always a reason to.
Stop.
It is. That's what it is.
I mean, I see
I've
the
always
plan.
said that.
I see the plan.
Why do they always, all of a sudden, they're talking
Let's say the
normal
most
and then they
rancid
come out.
shit. So Anthony has to edit for 7 hours.
You don't need to
now.
edit anything. And then they come out, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they're talking with the lift because they
It
took a
doesn't
big
make any
load.
sense to me. And
And
I'm
it's
fine
either
you
that-
want to be gay, but I don't understand why you have to talk like that, walk like that.
I mean,
You grew
who
up walking and
cares?
talking one way.
They were like that. They talked like that when they were kids.
No,
No,
bullshit.
No
Bullshit. Bullshit.
way. No way. I never
yeah.
met a gay person talking in my entire life until after I was older. And then all of a sudden they start talking like that.
So you mean there was a guy who like talked like, "Hey, how you doing, man? What's up?" And then all of a sudden he went to college and he's like, "Hi."
No. I will say that
yeah.
each one that came out, they were always suspect, but they I don't want to say normal because that doesn't sound really right either. But you never would have heard them. Them talking wouldn't have been that much different than
Maybe they were trying to hide it. Maybe
I
hide
spoke
it.
with.
Like how Australians can talk like English and sing in English.
Listen, being gay, there's not fucking gay dialect. It's not an accent. It's a choice that they're choosing to talk like that. For what reason, I don't really understand.
Load in the mouth.
Load has nothing to do with
load in the mouth.
I don't get it. I don't understand
if you hear him
the
talk
mannerisms. Like you can't just go through your whole life being
that or
one way, and then all of a sudden you come out of the closet and then start acting like that.
You can't go through your whole life talking one way and then totally talking a completely different way.
They do it all the time.
That is the point.
That's the point.
No, so what I'm saying is it was probably when they were young, they suppressed it.
No.
You think
you
you're
don't know how to suppress it?
Just born talking like that?
No.
I mean,
he's like 3 years old because they do say they're born this way. He's just like mom says, say mama, and then he's saying mama with a lisp.
But you don't lisp when you say mama.
Mommy?
Go ahead, you lisp.
I don't know. I don't know how to talk.
What are you two clowns trying to lisp and say mama at the same time? This is just
any such word.
Bizarro world.
No, I'm talking like high school time. These guys are talking normal. Math class, raise your hey Christopher, what is your answer to this question?
If the answer is 9, he's saying it's 9. He's saying it like that. He's not going.
That's like a New York.
It's 9. And then he's going. Then he goes away to college and he's like, it's 9. It doesn't. No way.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think anyone.
I think it's because up in New York they talk different. You don't realize.
I don't think anyone would consciously. I can't even say
consciously.
That word. Consciously. Make a decision to talk that way.
I don't think he did. Okay, we'll stop talking about the gays.
No, well, it doesn't make. No, we could talk about it all day long. I don't care. I'm just saying. I don't think. I just don't think
you're
it's possible.
Just wrong.
Yeah, I guess I'm wrong.
No, I've seen it happen.
I'm
too.
like your attorneys.
I'm with you, Troy. I've seen it.
I have no facts.
It's completely that way, and I don't understand it. And I don't even understand it. It's fine. You want to be gay?
I guess you don't understand it.
Do you want to go back to my theory? Because that's what did it.
No, your theory was that of a madman.
That's what did it.
No.
What else did it?
But, really? What did they do?
It messes with the vocal cords. It messes
with the vocal.
You know, that's why women. You don't hear them talk like this. They're all. No. Although my wife should be talking like this.
Listen, this is the thing.
My God. Sorry, son.
What is he saying? What is he saying about his wife?
What do you mean? What am I saying? It's pretty obvious.
Why should she's a beautiful, tiny little beautiful woman? Why should she talk like a man?
Because if my theory fits, then she shouldn't be talking like a feminine woman. You know, she should be more manly because she ain't taking anything in the. Never mind. My son is listening. My son.
Your son. Your son.
Now the son knows that his mom's kept her rear clean.
Guess what, son? You wanted it. You got it.
All right, whatever. Okay, let's go to the HIV drugs.
But anyway, we were going to segue a long time ago. Somehow I feel like I got accosted.
You're going to be talking like that soon.
Well, listen, the reality of it is this. Us from down here.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
No. Yeah, fuck that. We're going to transition. A sane
Don't talk over him.
You know, but if you, like growing up down here, and, you know, next thing I'm doing, I'm hanging out with my buddy from New York. I'll start picking up certain tones in my voice that goes from talking somewhat redneck or southern or whatever to all of a sudden sounding like how I say fuck. All of a sudden I say fuck every fucking sentence, but all of a sudden the way I say fuck changes, and it's because I'm with him. So I get it that if you're all of a sudden you're gay and you're hanging out with gay people and then this is their dialect of the English language, that you could fall into it. But where the fuck did that start?
Well, I was just going to say, who started it?
Like, we get it. New Yorkers are just New Yorkers. That's the way they talk. People from Alabama talk a certain way. Yeah. People from California talk a certain way.
I'm with you.
But where did the gay thing start?
And it don't matter what state you're in, you talk like that gay.
No, exactly. It doesn't matter. You could be in Arkansas. You could be in Wisconsin.
You could be in Alabama. They're talking like that.
So it is not geographically. It has to do with being gay.
All right,
it's kind of like Spanish, you know? It's like Spanish.
I want to hear this.
It's all the same.
The gay Alabama.
He loses his southern. They lose his southern. A gay queer Alabamian.
Is it an Alabamian? No, that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah,
Alabamans.
I don't know.
They don't even talk right.
I don't want to insult anybody from Alabama. We love you all in Alabama.
Do you want me to tell you my Alabama story real quick while we're on? We can change subjects.
We have an Alabama story?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, let's hear it.
But it has nothing to do with being gay. I thought it did it first.
Does that have to do with dogs?
Somehow, I don't believe you.
I thought it did it first, but my buddy's from Alabama.
Here we go.
He's a good man. He's a dentist. I love him. So here's what happened. So he called me, and here's how he says, Buster, you ain't gonna believe what happened to me this weekend. I'm like, uh-oh. I thought maybe his daughter got screwed by a black guy or something. I'm like, oh shit,
God.
there's a bun in the oven.
Say that.
Why not? They can say that. And I'm like, uh-oh, because usually it's something
I
like
don't think
that.
you'd be happy about that if that happened.
No, he wasn't. That's why he was telling me. He wasn't
know.
happy about it. He's like, you ain't gonna believe it. I'm like, oh no, because he's had some issues with his daughter. Whatever. I'll get into that later. So he's like, I'm getting some roof work done on my house, and he goes, and they called me and said, have you seen Jim out there on your roof? And he goes, I ain't there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. He goes, my wife's there. I'll call her. So he called her and said, go out. He goes, you see that truck? She goes, yeah, I was here when I got here. Go out there and look, see what he's doing. They're looking for him. So she goes outside. She looks up and starts screaming because the poor guy's dead on the roof. Deader than a hammer. Fell back, like had his legs hanging off the roof and just fell back and had a heart attack.
Wow.
So how old was the guy?
In his 40s.
No shit.
Yeah. Now he could have been an Alabama fat guy. I'm not sure what he was.
He's
thought
still
he
in his 40s.
He may have gotten vaccinated or something. I don't know.
He could have been. He could have been an Alabama fat guy.
By the time they took him down, he said he was stiff as a board already. So I guess rigor mortis sets in quick, doesn't it?
When he was baking out in the sun.
Yeah, but I don't know if that expedites rigor mortis.
Yeah, but
no, but
I think rigor mortis is like what, 2 or 3 hours.
It must be because he must have been up there.
We're gonna search that and find that out.
Mortis.
Have you ever seen a dead guy? Because I've seen him. I came up to a wreck one time. Did I tell you about that?
No, I have seen.
It was amazing. Yeah. Have you seen not just a dead like your old,
right, like somebody mangled? You mean hurt?
I mean like that's you just find dead.
Yeah, no, I've never. Not that I know of. Not that
we were driving on 31, and for you people who don't know what 31, our road here was a 2-lane road.
Dangerous road.
Very dangerous, and a car was driving towards us, and hit a rock truck head on. I mean, a full rock truck. And the rock truck turned over, and they went off in the ditch.
Like a dump truck with rocks in the back?
A big one, a semi.
Oh.
And I ran, it was me and another guy ran to this, we were the first ones there. We saw it. So I ran up to it, and there were 3 people that were dead already. I mean, there was one guy laid in the driver's seat completely back. 2 of them in the back were dead. It was a girl and another guy, and his brain matter was on the road. It was bad. All their shit was spread all over the place. I mean, it literally looked like a little turtle shell that was his skull.
So who fucked up?
So I'll tell you, this is what happened. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I ran to the truck guy, and he goes, I thought they were playing chicken with me. I didn't even...
Oh, it was on like 80?
No, it was on 31.
Oh, shit.
So right in front of that.
So he's thinking, like, they're going to turn, they're going to move out of the way.
He goes, I thought they were playing chicken. I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't get off the road. I was going to wreck.
He's got fucking 20 tons in the back of his truck. And they hit him
dead on and killed 3 of them. And I thought that was all the people that were in the car. We're on 911 yelling. The other guy that I'm with yelling, where are you? Where's the helicopter? And they're like, is anyone alive? And we're like, no. And all of a sudden, the guy in the driver's seat starts gurgling.
Oh.
And they're like,
in the car that hit him?
Yeah, in this car. And he's like, they go, you need to do CPR. And we're like, we ain't fucking doing any CPR. Because you saw the guy, you ain't doing it. I mean, these people were not. So all of a sudden, a girl from the passenger seat comes out of the floorboard out of nowhere. We didn't see her.
Bring your mic.
All of a sudden, there's more people. You already found 3 dead people, and there's more people just start appearing?
Yes, she was in her floorboard. She'd slid down and passed out. She comes out, and all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and starts moving around and waking up. So I run around, jump in the canal, trying to pull her out. She starts freaking out and grabbing me and like pulling me in. I'm like, fuck this, get the fuck off me, you know?
Right.
I mean, she went crazy. Then she looked over, saw the guy in the driver's seat, and passed out. Went back out again. So I'm like, fuck. I mean,
so did she live in the end?
She lived completely. She went to the hospital for like a half a day and left. All the others were deader than shit.
So even the driver?
Oh, yeah, he was dead.
Is it because you didn't give him out the mouth?
No, the guy I was with, I told him to do it. I go, I ain't doing it. You know?
Well, thank you for your 2 stories of death.
Well, that's the death.
Thank you.
I told you I saw dead people.
I told you I see dead people.
That being said, there was a...
I see dead people.
There was a they may have had HIV. So now we'll get into that.
Well, actually, before we get into HIV, since we're on the talk about dead people,
worst segue.
He could have had
Dead
HIV.
people on 31 could have had HIV.
They look like intravenous drug. What do you call it? Intravenous drugs. Intravenous drug users.
Intravenous. Intravenous.
Well,
extravenous.
What I'm getting to, because I've seen a lot of dead people in my life. When I was a kid,
A lot. I'm not talking about just grandma that dies in the hospital.
No. Well, I'm just talking about my dad used to pick me up every day from school with a dead body in the back, and I would go with him to go toe tag it. Sometimes I'd have to go with him. We'd go to the property to go pick up the dead body. We put it in the stretcher.
What did your dad do? I thought he was a damn...
He was, but he had a non-emergency transport company, which part of it was picking up dead bodies. So every day he would pick me up from school in what we called the meat wagon.
Nut doesn't fall from the tree.
And I never thought...
Turn me up. Boy. Did your dad let you go back and just play around with the dead bodies?
No, you know what was crazy is back then it was just what he did. He picked me up every day from school with a dead body, and I would go with him to the meat locker basically and go put the dead bodies in there.
But did you see the dead bodies, or were they covered up?
Well, they had sheets over them until we got them to the freezer, and then you have to take them off the stretcher and put them in the cardboard box.
So he let you go inside the meat locker?
Oh, I'd put that fucking toe tag on them. And
how old were you?
Really? How come
5,
I'm just finding
6,
this out
7,
now?
8.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not kidding. And I never thought once about it. It wasn't until my oldest son, his mom, and her and I were talking one day, and I started talking about this. And as it's coming out of my mouth, at about this time, I'm like 19 or 20. And I'm like, man, that is kind of fucking crazy.
Think about it.
But at the time, that's just what the job was.
Wow.
And I never once thought about it. But like, people would die on the toilet. They'd die in the bed. He'd pick me up. And one time we had a little program at my school, private little Christian school. And my dad, he was working or whatnot. And my mom brings us out there. The performance was at 6 or 7 o'clock, whatever. I don't know. So my dad meets us there at the place. We get up on the stage, do our little ditty, whatever. Performance is done. And we lived pretty far out of town at the time. So my dad says, we'll just leave the car here. And then he went home with my mom and us. And then next morning when we come to school, we get the car and go to work. He left a damn dead body in that car all night sitting in the school parking lot.
Oh, my God. So he never even reported. He just left it in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really who's checking it off, because every time we'd go to the meat locker, nobody was there. You just go in there in the back, and we take it off the stretcher, put it in, fold up these cards, because they just are folded flat, like a pizza box before you put it together. I help them put it together. We would roll the body onto it, fold the box up over it, put the toe tag on it, and then take it into the meat locker, and then they had a little thing that gets it onto the different shelves. Did he have a hearse? It was a station wagon. It wasn't a hearse, but it was like a station wagon. To be honest with you, thinking about it now, back then, now it seems like pretty much trailer trash shit. But
you think? I mean,
it sounded like the station wagon wasn't all that nice. Did he pay you? No, I was just along for the ride. I'm going to work with Dad. He picked me up from school. But no, I did that. So I did see a lot of dead people then. And then later in life, when I went to work with them for 6 months, I was in a nursing home. So people died all the time.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I saw, like a wreck that, you know.
That's, that I have not experienced a wreck with somebody's death. It was always just old people dying.
Well, a lot of that happens down here. That is strange, dude.
Good for you. Troy.
I thought it was I never thought about it. Never bothered me.
Have you ever asked him about it?
Yeah, no, we've talked about it since then, because it came up when I was in the conversation with my son's with my son's mom that one time, and I remember just realizing in that conversation, being as it's coming out of my mouth, being that's kind of fucking crazy. And at the time, my son was probably a little younger or close to that age, and I'm like, wow, that is kind of weird. But it was just what we did. And I can't say my dad's like, hey, sorry, son, you have to see this. This is what we do. I'm introducing you to
that probably helped.
No, he never did. It just was like, hey, what it was. We're going to work. We're going to put Mary Jane in the locker.
Right.
That's what it was. Dad, how'd she die? She had a heart attack. Oh, she was sitting on the toilet, or Thomas James, or whatever it was.
Right. You got to listen. I'm worried about him. You're putting tags on dead people's toes.
No, it was literally like that. It was weird.
I'm worried about you now.
But, I think it's like, better off to not even say what you're doing. That's the best way to handle it.
Well, it was never a conversation.
Right.
Like it was just it never even crossed my mind until I was in my, like, let's just say early 20s, late teens or something. But, even like, I mean, how many old naked people I saw that weren't even dead, just like in geriatrics. I'm helping them change stuff.
Desensitizing.
No, so it was just like it was just what life was like, and I do think about it like we're always in that scenario, just because that was my dad's business. Like I still remember one time when I went to go work with my dad because I was going to be a physical therapist, and I was like, whatever I was going to do. That only lasted 6 months, but. So I was there working, and I could always get the people, the old lady specifically, to do exercises that the other people couldn't do. Like they just like
you could. I bet you could.
No, it's not like increasing, but there was one lady I still remember, and I get her to do work, and she got so constipated one time, man. And she just wanted me in there with her, and they were using the spoon to dig it out of her ass.
My God.
I mean, I didn't expect that. I was laughing just on constipated because I'm a moron.
They had a spoon up her ass?
No, literally, they just like scoop it out. Like, spoon.
No.
Just to get it going, man. And it was, so I saw some crazy shit.
Sometimes I get constipated, but I never do that.
Well, that's how they had to solve this woman's issue that one specific time. And she just had to lay on her side, and I just had to be on the other side, and she just wanted me there for it.
They didn't have Metamucil or something? Fuck. I mean, how about X-Lax?
I'm assuming they probably had tried all those things.
Do you understand why he needs therapy, dude? Are you fucking kidding me?
Jesus Christ. I thought it was other reasons.
People get shit spooned out of their ass.
I thought he wasn't getting laid. It has nothing to do with that.
And then dead old people? Like, first of all, if I walked up on, like, grandma laying naked dead, I'd be like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, what? I would want to throw up. What was your reaction? Did you see, were they all covered up? Were they just naked? Were they clothed when you got there?
No. So,
this is like right after the finding of the body?
Yeah. So they were always clothed then. And
but
then.
You said people in the toilet. Nobody died naked?
Well, they pull their clothes up.
You think they cover them up out of respect?
Yeah. I mean, I can't say there was any person that I remember as a kid.
Hold on, let me get a stool sample. Somebody get me a spoon.
I do think, like, out of respect, say you end up on the toilet and you die, and you got your drawers around your ankles or something. I think
Chester drawers.
They try to probably, clean you up and make you as presentable as possible, out of respect, type of thing. And Elvis is a good example. So I can't say any of those. I can only remember out of the top of my head, only one time I remember a naked person at the meat locker. That's only one time I can think of. Everybody else had clothes on. And I think the people that handle what's in the meat locker, my dad's job was to get it from the house to the meat locker. They take them off, and they probably got to do an autopsy or whatever it is that they do.
And do they call it a meat locker?
No, literally, it's called a meat locker. And it's funny. It just came in conversation with my son the other day, and I said how it's called a meat locker, and then the station wagon was called the meat wagon.
Yeah, meat wagon.
Yeah, exactly. This is what it was, and my son says, "Oh, because it said the meat locker." And he said, "That's what they say on Law and Order." I said, "That's really what it is."
To the meat locker, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I thought we were going to talk about HIV drugs.
I'm sure that somebody hanging in the meat locker could have possibly had HIV.
So, all right. So this is going to be my little segment, an observation that I had made.
Anybody in this conversation, why do I feel like my mic is not working? I feel like it's not working.
No, I said the same thing. That's what mine was. Can you hear me? Because I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah,
mine's working well today, and I got a lot to say.
Yeah, you're okay. Good. God. Let's go. Let's let Troy go into his HIV.
So it was like 2 months ago, a month ago or so, I started seeing all these commercials, which first caught my attention because it always starts off with like two gay guys kissing, dancing, or something different. So it caught my eyes.
That's
yeah. No,
that's what caught my eyes. I didn't know what the commercial was for. I just kept seeing it, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
No, they're kiss and they hold hands.
So all of a sudden, I start paying more attention because I'm like, "What the fuck?" Every commercial's already because
you may need it.
White
you may
girl
need the drug.
with a black person. It's two Chinese people. You never got like a white mom and a white dad and two kids. People. No, it's just never like what actually the population is. Like our commercials are not set up indicative of what our population
There's
is.
no doubt. That's everything.
That's inclusivity for you. They want to include every combination and everything. That's all it is.
What that's is exactly brainwashing.
But I understand.
Nonetheless, that's what first caught my attention.
But that's what they call it.
I don't give a fuck what they call it. Nonetheless, that's what first caught my attention.
All right. Troy, it is. Fired up.
So that's the first thing that caught my attention. So I'm now like, what the hell is this even advertisement for? It was for some HIV drug. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's not weird. I mean, it's great. If it helps somebody, I'm not against it. And then all of a sudden there's another one. And then there's another one. And I notice over like a month, like every time there's a commercial segment, and maybe it's just
this wasn't all like in the same viewing. You've noticed this over a period of time.
A period of time, stations. But no, like literally in my house, we got my wife's always got Law and Order on. We always got NBC on
channels. Okay,
so it's a spread over those two channels, which is pretty much probably what's always on in my house in passing. Okay. And I don't really sit there, so it just catches my attention. So I'm not sitting there watching.
Will you let him talk? Shut up, Anthony.
Okay,
Jesus.
And I'm just so I noticed this. I noticed this commercial. What it is, and then it's like every time there's a commercial break, the commercial's on again, or there's another commercial that has the same like vibe to it, and all of a sudden I realize it's another one. So all of a sudden it started causing me.
No, but another HIV, HIV commercial?
Jesus Christ!
So I start realizing that all these commercials are for HIV drugs, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how many people have HIV that we're gonna commercial like literally? Every commercial segment out of the 3 commercials that's shown, one of them has to be an HIV commercial, if not 2 of them.
No, you're correct.
They definitely have made a comeback.
Well, and this is the thing. So I'm like, man, is there like an outbreak of HIV that I'm not aware of?
I don't know. Is there?
Because as far as I'm concerned, and I think of in my life, I remember the scare in the 80s. I was a kid. You got to worry about it. But it seems like it's been on a decline. You never even hear about it anymore. So I'd go... So I'm like, man, so it really started like piquing my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? So I did do a little research about this, and there's only 40 million people in America that have HIV. 40 million out of 330. That's what they're saying as of right now.
40 million?
That's got AIDS. So no, I'm sorry. In 2020, 30,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it ain't 40 million. That's fucking crazy.
30,000. Jesus Christ! So 30,000 people.
10%, so more than 10% of our population.
No, so
30,000. That's it.
30,000 people. And from 2016 to 2019, there's an 8% decrease. So this is a declining market. Right. So not only is the market a fucking fraction. We got more people on McGregor right now than we have in the entire country that have HIV. So we have a very, very tiny market.
Right.
And it's decreasing by 8% over a 3-year period of time,
right. So right off the bat, why the big push?
Why the fuck are these pharmacies or farm companies spending this kind of money? These are huge ad buys.
Oh, yeah.
Like in prime time, because it's not like I'm sitting there watching it at 3:00 in the afternoon. This is like 8:00 at night or morning time, right before the Today Show or something like that.
So big pharma spend a lot of money for some reason.
And there's 5 of these drugs: Apretude, Devada, Truvada,
up the asses,
Terry, Cabenuva. So there is 5 drugs that have these commercials that are being aired. 5 drugs.
That was funny. But
so now we have 5 different drug companies with 5 different drugs marketing towards 30,000 people.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, dude. There's got to be something.
In prime time. So I don't want to be conspiracy theory, but I know in the beginning of COVID, that was one of the things that went out there. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to figure out why the fuck are these people doing that? Because that doesn't make sense from a business angle, period. Are they doing it out of the wholesome part of their heart that they just don't want the two gay dancers?
No fucking way.
Like, they don't give a fuck. And it's not a gay agenda that the media is pushing because they don't give a fuck. They're worried about the dollar. So they're not trying to spread gay, like, acceptance.
No, this is only, if there's only 30, let's say 50,000. And there's how many drugs?
No,
5.
there couldn't. Because
5.
Listen, so in 2020.
40,000 people?
No, you
5
got to think.
drugs.
So
That's fucking ridiculous.
In 2020, there was 30,000 people. It's declining at an 8% rate per every 3 years. So if we had 30,000 in 2020, we have less today.
Well, we don't know that
Mathematically.
Well, based on that pattern. Based on that pattern.
But what we're getting at here is that
whether we have 5,000 more or 5,000 less, it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to round it up even to 40,000. We're looking at 330 million people in this country, and we're running ads at this rate. There's something else going on.
We need to get into the vaccine because that's what it is.
That's the only thing that makes sense because this just started since COVID.
Right. Since COVID's when all the commercials started coming out.
And not just it's been since then, but it wasn't like when COVID happened. It's been in the last 6 to 12 months.
But the book I read, jumping in here, the true Anthony Fauci.
Well, he had a lot to do with
He started with the HIV drug, and it was the biggest scam in the fucking world. So something's going on.
Well, and I don't want to be conspiracy theory, but in the beginning when COVID first came out, there was all these things people saying, oh, it was made with an HIV type of thing.
Right.
And then other people go into, well, the vaccine has the HIV thing in it. Do I think that either of those things are true? I have no fucking clue. But what I do know is 4 years ago, we had no HIV commercials. Now, all of a sudden, we have 5 drugs. That's prime time. Every commercial break, there's at least one of them going out there. In our HIV stats is a fucking very small market.
So Big
Pharma
is spending a fortune.
Do we know?
Fortune.
But okay, so they're spending a fortune. Do we know? Has there been any kind of an outbreak?
Not yet.
Any kind of like reported news or data?
Because if you go to the national disease, whatever it is, these are the stats that news. These are the stats that I'm pulling from.
No, hell no, it wouldn't be on the news.
They're indicating.
It's not there yet.
This national disease, whatever.
They're out ahead of it.
This is like our national organization that I'm pulling these stats from. So this is not me just on like VAERS? Google.
Right.
No, it's called
CDC.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. But what I'm saying is, I haven't heard.
It's the CDC.
Right.
That's where it's coming from. So this is off of their website. This is their latest stats for HIV in the United States.
So what you're saying is someone may have a hint that we're going to maybe see more HIV, period.
That's what
has to be.
The only thing that makes sense.
Has to be, because they're not trying to cure 30,000 people. They wouldn't give a fuck.
There's not enough money in it.
No way is there enough money in it.
I think something else is in the queue.
Okay,
we're not being led onto it.
What is that?
Vaccine.
What has happened in the last 4 years that would increase this thing that's a shrinking number that started off at 30,000 in the entire United States? We've had COVID, which now has come out that it was manufactured. As much as we were told that it wasn't, it's come out. It's true that it came from a lab.
Right.
And then secondly, we've had these vaccines, and we got soccer players falling over, 20-year-old soccer players falling over with heart attacks.
Dying on roofs in Alabama.
You got people, 40-year-olds dying on roofs in Alabama.
Oh, I have a story for you.
So my point is that's the only thing that's changed in life. And then it goes back to the life insurance thing, where the life insurance people are like, these stats are fucking sick. Like, we can't predict this. We're going broke paying for things that we never would have thought of.
No doubt.
That's the only thing that makes this any sense.
It does to me too, because there's no way that Big Pharma is going to spend that kind of money unless they know it's going to be used. So they're not going to say, "Hey."
So there's something something doesn't make sense, and I can't believe nobody else is asking this question.
No.
So I bring two things to the table with this. One,
an HIV tsunami.
No. So one, there's a social.
That's what they're predicting.
So one, there's a social aspect of an HIV tsunami. And two, from a financial aspect, who owns these 5 companies?
Well, you know who owns them. It's the same fucking Pfizer and Moderna.
Those are the ones you're going to put money in because something's in the pipeline.
You may be right.
That's all I'm saying.
There's no way that they're going to put that much money into something.
I know. You're like, yeah.
And that's my whole synopsis on the whole thing. And it all literally started off with these commercials with gay guys kissing and stuff. And I'm like, why?
No, they're dancing. There's that big trans looking one.
Why not? It's a part of life.
No, if there's a certain sickness, if it's like a kidney thing, you want me to get into mine? That's a kidney drug, which is a normal drug, and they got Farxiga, which I just want to do the side effect real quick. Hang on, Troy, because you're going to hear this.
No, but this is a good one.
This is the side effect of this drug, and this is another big pharma. I think it's for kidney, if your kidneys are going. So that's... People have kidney problems.
Is that you could have kidney failures by taking this. It's supposed to fix kidney failure.
That's the best one.
First of all, they always ask.
Could affect your kidneys.
They always say if you're allergic to it. Well, how the fuck do I know if I'm allergic to fucking Farxiga? I don't even know what's in it. So anyway, this side effect is your taint swells up. And now go ahead, Troy, and ask your question.
And what is a taint?
Troy doesn't know what a taint is, so I'm going to tell you what a taint is. Taint ass.
Tell me what's the technical term?
Oh, it's the perineum, right?
Perineum or perineum? I don't know.
Taint ass, taint pussy. It's the part in between.
That's your like genitals and your
between your balls and your butthole. Yeah. That little thing there that you like when people touch it.
Okay, stop.
Well, I do. But they said it swells.
He didn't know.
He didn't know what taint was. I know. He's younger than we are.
What does that have to do with it? When did you learn what a taint was? Was it when you were 25?
No, I was probably about 12, 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys are a little older than me. You guys actually operated from legitimate anatomy.
We would say taint because you would say ain't ass, ain't balls, so it would be taint. That's what we called it. Taint.
No, I never heard that before.
You never heard taint?
I've heard the word before, but it never was relevant enough for me to ask what the fuck it is.
Well, anyway, that was the side effect of this drug is your taint swells. And I'm like, am I going to really take something and your fucking taint swells? But how does that swell?
Like, that's just an area. It's not like there's something there specific.
That's
like,
exactly
why does it collect right there?
No, I don't know.
I think that's my question. I definitely think there's something going on in that section, whether it's blood flow or arteries or...
So I'm sure there's like some blood flow there,
and maybe because that's.
But if you ever
your balls,
has anyone ever come to you and said, "Hey, my taint swelled up today"?
It's the lowest part of your upper body, basically.
Swollen taint. I never heard of that.
I got a sore throat. Oh, really? My taint swelled.
I mean, what happens if you punch somebody?
Yeah, it says that.
What if you knuckle? What if you knuckle somebody?
It doesn't say taint.
No, it doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say taint. It says the area between the genitals and the anus.
Genitals?
But it says the perineum, which is and then it'll say the area between the two.
It says perineum, and then because they know nobody knows what the fuck that is.
And then it describes. If they said taint, everyone would know besides you.
Kidney. It's exactly.
Yeah, it's Farxiga. Farxiga. You'll hear it.
All right, I'm gonna have to.
Really?
Farxiga.
What happens if you knuckle somebody in the taint?
It hurts like a motherfucker. You ever been kicked in the taint?
Yeah.
It hurts.
No, when you get kicked in the nuts is what hurts. The taint. How the fuck are they getting to the taint?
I think that's
they hit there too. It hurts.
Sometimes if the foot slides underneath your balls, it goes right into the taint.
I mean, you ever had your asshole hit?
No.
No.
Never had that.
You don't talk like, hey, how are you?
It's never happened before.
Your asshole. No.
I grew up in a different time from you guys.
Yeah, he had to definitely go in a different direction because he was going to say, I have. Well, could you explain a little bit further?
Never mind.
That was a special occasion.
I will say that your HIV theory, something's
And I don't want to make it a theory, and I don't want to put it out there as conspiracy. It's an observation that it makes mathematically no sense, especially coming from a business side of things and a marketing side of things. There's a reason they're doing this.
Well, I could say we're the first ones here at Oddfathers that brought it up. So if it's 5 years from now, everyone starts getting AIDS.
I mean, we might be.
No, you're not getting AIDS. It's HIV.
17th.
Oh, HIV.
And
aren't they two different things?
Two different things. HIV can turn into AIDS, but you can have HIV and never get AIDS. To have AIDS, you had to have had HIV, to my understanding.
I don't know.
So these five drugs.
I don't know.
These 5 drugs.
He's very deep. He's very bassy today.
Yeah. These 5 drugs, though, their whole premise is it's not like it's going to get rid of HIV. It treats it to a place where it's undetectable.
Yeah, I just
saw
one.
Magic Johnson was, which he was the only person that had HIV. and was known for it back in the day, that he had enough funds and was able to participate in whatever, probably any one of these 5.
He's not still all 5 alive, isn't he?
Oh, no. Yeah, he's
so he's fine.
No, he's completely fine. And he can go sleep with whoever he wants and supposedly
not give it.
And supposedly,
you guys trust the science.
I mean, I'm not going to let him butt fuck me. I'd be still scared.
Well, there's probably a lot of reasons you don't want to.
Got a big old.
No, I was going to say there's probably a lot of reasons you don't want to get back there.
Yeah. And then you're going to hear that question when he bends you over. You ever been kicked in the ass?
Yeah. You ever been
donkey punched? You're worried about your taint in the ass, Buster?
It's donkey punch. You ever heard of that? Donkey punch?
Yeah. Again, time to give you some shakaroni. Oh no! I said Shaq.
Oh no, not Shaq. Jesus
Who was it?
Christ.
Magic. Yeah, Magic Wand. Magic Johnson.
Okay, well, we'll get off the HIV. But
he's full of vim and vigor. He got laid once, and he's got a swollen taint. He's a maniac.
It's already worn off. It's been a month.
Yeah,
Jesus,
it's done already. Poor guy.
Good for you. Anyway, I'm just saying, I love it, but I agree with you. There's something up, obviously.
Well, first of all, we know Big Pharma's spending a fortune, but why are they spending on that? It's usually like a skin disease.
Yeah, why not go fucking cure cancer?
Yeah, no, but there's tons of psoriasis.
There is, because I asked Lisa that, and my wife, and she said there is a lot of that.
No,
so I'm like, why the fuck do they have all these commercials on this? And then she says a lot of people.
And but that makes sense. That commercial, I think a lot of people have it, and you can with
the psoriasis. Yeah, I guess
there's more than 30,000 people have. There's probably fucking tens of millions of people that have psoriasis.
I guess I don't know.
Not tens of million people that got HIV. At least not knowingly have it.
The diabetes ones, Ozempic. Listen, Ozempic, what it does, from what I heard,
you lose weight.
You lose weight. A lot of these Hollywood celebs, because it's $900 a month.
Mm-hmm.
There's another diabetes one that does the same. It's like $35, but they're not
like it curbs your hunger and stuff like that.
They're saying
they lose a lot of weight.
They want you to take this one. It's $900 a month. I wonder why. Here you go again.
I got Medicare clients that are doing it. And I tell them you're going to be paying for it.
Well, the insurance companies are probably open to some of these big costs because you got some fat fuck like most of us in America
may lose money, but
so they're willing to
spend $900. I mean, it sounds like you could lose it pretty quick.
No, it does. It knocks it off quick.
So for $900, if you work hard for a month,
if you want to pay for it,
well, insurance is paying for it. If their goal is
if they're diabetic, if they're not diabetic, they ain't paying for it. And it's still a brand name drug, so it's expensive.
Probably that drug is probably they're trying to market it or get it licensed or certified.
It's already licensed. It's already FDA.
But to get it for weight loss, though.
Yeah, but they can't do that. It's already FDA.
But if they can get it for that, then
and it's got 85 side effects too. It does.
They all
do. It's bizarre.
That one specifically, I saw a thing. I saw it on
swollen
TV.
Taint is the best I've ever heard.
No, some lady her face started swelling or shrinking in or something, and it wasn't like a weight loss. So you like lose weight and you lose weight in your face, and your face starts getting more shrunk in. This lady had an issue with it, and there's a doctor that came on, and there's a term for it now that using this for weight loss purposes, and they're losing weight, but it's like sucking the collagen out of your face.
Oh man!
In addition to like just the fat, like if you lose weight,
you need the collagen.
Yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden,
like Skeletor.
No, exactly. So that's one of the side effects of using this diabetic drug for weight loss that they're doing it, and it's not happening to everybody, but it's happening enough with people are doing this to a point where there's actually a term for it. And I can't remember the doctor's name. And honestly, I think I get all of this from the Today Show. Like it happened there. But they did. And
we need to quit watching that shit.
Well, that's bullshit.
But this lady was interviewed and she said how like she was so happy with the results. She was losing weight, everything else. And then all of a sudden she started noticing in her face.
Skeleton face. Yeah.
It's something like this. They have there's a side term and then there's a medical term for it.
Right.
But
skeleton face.
It could be that.
That's a scientific term.
But they're having that with this drug though.
Skeletor.
Because there's people though, if you feel really uncomfortable, $900 a month, and if you made money, you've had a good amount of
I just said
success.
That's what I'm saying.
No, my wife weighed 400 pounds. I'd fucking buy Ozempic all fucking day long.
If you've had a good few years, and it can help whoever it is, whether it's your wife or whatnot.
What's this funny taste in my wine? No, it's not. It's all.
Don't worry about it.
It's a very rare.
Your taint might get a little swollen, but hey,
your taint may swell up.
Why is my taint swollen, Buster?
Let me look at that.
I don't know what's going on here.
Why are you walking funny like that, honey? Has something happened? I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Honey, I think you're growing testicles.
I just love when they say if you're allergic to it. They'll go, if you're allergic to Farcivic, don't take it.
Right.
How the fuck am I supposed to know if I'm allergic to it? You know?
Listen, after your penis shoots off your body like a bottle rocket.
You don't fucking know. They're like, if you're allergic to HIV drug, don't take it. Well, fuck. I don't know if I'm fucking allergic to it.
I guess I'm allergic to that. My penis is gone.
My face swelled up like a peanut.
Oh, my tongue exploded all over the mirror.
Oh, you're allergic.
I was shaving.
My daughter's funny because I mean, she's only 14, and over the last like few years, like she's very matter of the fact, this like in general. And she's always like never understand the trans thing, like, oh, I'm a boy or I'm a girl. And she's like, I still remember the first time she kind of pulled her pants out a little bit, and she's like, you just like look down, like what the fuck is everybody talking about?
Thank God.
Like,
keep it going.
It's just like really simple question. But she made a comment, this was a little bit ago, about the pharmaceutical commercials where they have to rattle off all these 50,000 different things that are wrong. And she's like, who would take that?
Who the hell would take that? I mean,
like, you're dying this way or you're going to die with all of that shit. Like, what difference does it make?
I
don't know.
This might not happen to you.
But no, their innocence of a kid that doesn't really know of what stuff. We're so desensitized because we hear it all. It's like, she just doesn't know. She hasn't seen all this shit for all this time. And she's like, that doesn't sound like something I want to take.
Why don't we
gives you diarrhea.
That's what now, did you have a story? Because I got to pee.
Yeah.
Can we stop and pee?
What was I saying? Oh, this morning really quick. You could pee. Yeah. Go pee.
Well, you need me.
I need you. I don't have to continue to talk.
I want to hear the story.
I need you.
Rogan stops.
Yeah,
you ever heard Rogan? He stops and pees.
I stop.
Then he comes right back.
Are you kidding me? We stop all the time. We might not.
Okay, buddy of mine. I'm not going to, it's kind of a friend of a friend, but I'm just going to say it's a buddy.
Okay.
So he's at his house, and his wife and her friend are out at the pool having a cocktail or something. So he goes out there and starts talking to him. And the friend, the girl, goes, did you hear about my husband? And he goes, no, what happened? Well, she went out to the store or something and left. So the husband gets on the computer and starts like looking at some things. And then he starts looking at some porno. And before you know it, he's doing some things that all males do that none of us talk about. And he's like in the middle off. He's in the middle of it. Off. Yeah. Right. He's in the middle of it. I don't talk so nasty. God, that's nasty.
God, no, of course not.
So he's in the middle of it, and all of a sudden he sees his best friend in the porno. I'm talking his best friend, not just a friend, his best friend. And I'm like, well, was it an amateur porno? And he goes, no, professional porno.
Had proper credits in the intro.
Everything. So he calls
his best friend.
He called him and goes, hey, dude. I'm in the middle of something, and I see your fucking ass in this porno. And the guy goes, oh.
How do you know it was his ass?
It was whatever. He saw his face. So everything. He saw it all, I would imagine.
I mean, look at who you're talking to.
So he goes, so the friend goes, the porno guy goes, yeah, I don't really talk about it much, but I've been doing it. I probably got 500 pornos out there.
500 Your best friend, you don't know he's a porn star.
He had no idea.
500 movies.
No idea.
400 movies.
Wasn't talking about it. No. Pull him up. I got the name.
No, I don't want to pull it up.
No, pull it up. That's what my point is. That his best friend, he had no idea.
Is he a good-looking guy?
Yeah, I pulled it up and looked at him.
Me too bad.
He's a good-looking guy.
Of course
First of all, here's the first thing you think.
Of course you did.
If it was my friend, I'd be like, well, you must have a big cock. So that would piss me off. I'd be like, motherfucker.
Piss me off. So why, you're not happy for your friend?
No, I'm not happy at all. I would be like, son of a bitch.
Fucking hater.
So it's Dale DeBone.
Dale DeBone.
That's his porn name.
That's his porn name. Dale DeBone. and he's like this younger guy. So this guy had no idea.
How old is his friend? The one you know?
They were probably mid-30s.
It's a pornographic actor.
Oh, so they're younger.
Yeah, that's his name. And that's not his real name. So he goes, motherfucker, I just saw you on it. There he is, yeah.
Play trailer, fuck that.
So I started thinking this, and I was thinking,
well, let's see what he's got going.
Yeah, pull the trailer, play it.
It's not going to show nothing.
It won't show anything. So I started thinking about this.
They all said I
Oh my God.
Oh, these are real cinematic
I
pieces.
believe my eyes and ears.
A trailer for
I
what?
hear them whispering every
This is not a porn
This ain't
movie.
the porn movie. Pull up Dale DeBone, dude.
That's
Not him.
Dude, that's him. Are you kidding me? That's him.
Look hard.
You said you just saw him naked. Is that him?
No, yeah, that's him. But I didn't see this. I saw something else. It was right in the middle.
Maybe he's
of it.
trying to get a real acting career.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I think Anthony's got some ad going. Go to the end of it where it's going to get something.
I think it's zombie porn.
No, what zombie porn that I saw?
Yeah, this is zombies, dude.
Yeah, but you got the wrong thing. Go to a different guy.
Zombie porn would probably sell, like to gamers and shit.
Okay, so
Hang on. Maybe that's spelled wrong.
No, it's him. How many Dale DeBones are there going to
Yeah,
be, pal?
that's it, Dale DeBone. Well, go to a different one, not Wikipedia.
Go to the porn one. Like go to
go to the porno.
like
Twitter?
What's you porn
No,
or something?
YouTube.
Pornhub.
Yeah,
Pornhub.
No, YouTube's not going to have it.
Go to Pornhub.
Yeah, go to Pornhub.
I'm not going on this computer. I'm not doing that.
What do you mean you're not
Yeah,
doing it? Why not?
No.
It's part of research.
It's research.
No.
What the fuck?
No, we're not doing it.
I mean,
don't
well,
want
why
porn on
not?
this
You have to go
computer.
to a porn site to search porn shit. I don't think
Look up
Google's
there on
just
the right.
spitting it
Go to
out.
those.
Dale DeBone, YouTube.
No, not YouTube, dude.
No,
Don't
they're
go
not
to
going to
fucking
show
YouTube.
that.
No, they're not going to show that.
You got to go to
the
a
real
porn
one.
site.
Oh,
Go to
I have
Pornhub.
to. I mean, we have to go. I have to go.
No,
I
go
really
to
do.
Pornhub.
I
You don't
have
have to go
drive.
nowhere.
I do. I
Now,
have to
now
go
this
pick
is
up my-
getting interesting.
Yeah, I mean, go to it.
I have to go pick up my daughter.
First of all, here's another thing. Before
off.
we leave, and I was thinking, well, what if I saw my friend on a porno, and I'd be like, well, if it was Anthony, I can't. I don't look at gay porno, so I wouldn't be able to see him.
He's been waiting all fucking day to
And
say
then
that.
fucking
He's been
Troy.
waiting all
I mean,
day.
it'd be like trans porn or some kind of like mad scientist porn.
Or sneaker fetish.
Yeah,
Sneaker,
it would
something
be,
weird.
it would be different for sure. Whatever
Yeah.
I'm into.
It's going to be something weird.
I would have
you
a
know?
very niche market.
It'd be like a dog or something. Go to a porno site.
Okay, listen, I really
Hey,
have
go
to
to X Hamster. He'll be on that.
X Hamster.
Yeah,
Where do you see that?
That's another porn
that's the
site.
porno site that
X
that
Hamster?
someone told me about.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, are you
you
crazy?
serious?
You're not doing
Yes.
enough porn.
Yeah, you're not doing
I'm
enough.
not-
All right, X Hamster. It's
Yeah,
literally
go
an
to
X and then
just go-
hamster.com.
X Hamster, just one word.
Are you
No,
serious?
put it in the
Yes.
search like it's a website.com.
I am. It's the same difference.
No, it's one word. But whatever, just do
it's
it.
one word?
Yeah,
You're like
I mean
an
when I
old
searched
person
it, when I
search-
searched it, yeah, I mean,
When
I
you're
didn't-
putting it in a search bar, you just go to the website.
okay, there you go. Now go to the free pornos,
Let's see.
and then you can put his name on the top. Go push that.
Oh, this is bad.
Okay, go to 18.
I'm 18.
You can blame it on me.
This looks like me every morning. Okay,
X-
go to.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Okay, go to. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not
fucking
really.
great.
Oh, we just
Yeah.
introduced Anthony to something like he doesn't know.
I
Like,
have
he's
no
a-
idea.
He's a 10-year-old.
kidding
Oh
me?
yeah. Oh, we don't know anything about it.
I don't
Just
know anything
fucking
about
put
it.
it in there. Don't give a shit about it.
Listen
God's
to me.
sakes.
I don't know anything about
Well,
it.
which one do you know? Go to? Maybe we'll go to yours.
Which one do you want? Let's just hit enter. There he is, right there.
There
Look
he
at
is. Look at him. That's it. Holy shit. Good for him. I guess he does it in Orlando and
Imagine
Fort
finding
Lauderdale.
out that's your best
No,
friend.
I mean, like not a friend, his best friend.
But how would he not know?
He said he had no idea.
All right, why would he not share that with his best friend?
I think he was kind of keeping it
They're
secret.
not as good of friends as he thinks he
it's
was.
no way.
If you
Takes it
find
up the
out-
ass on screen.
Yeah, but if you're watching a porno and all of a
Stop.
sudden I see Troy come up,
Oh my God, that would be great.
I'd be like, holy shit.
All right, well, I'll tell
I'd
you,
be happy.
I
I'd be
know,
happy for Troy.
I know you have to go, but
I
I have
do.
a story about the porn star thing. So at Northwestern,
hurry
my
up.
buddy works there,
Yeah, okay, we know about
and
that.
killing me,
all of a
Smalls.
sudden, they hired this guy, Northwestern. You know, he's bringing new people and whatever else. They
Yeah.
go through this, and
Oh, you told me about
yeah,
this
they
guy.
really like this guy. So he ends up getting brought on, and he's doing good for like a month.
Northwest Mutual Life Insurance, by the way.
Yeah,
It's an
so he's
insurance
selling
company.
life insurance, investment stuff, right? And the guy's doing really well. But then all of a sudden, somebody, it was one of the clients, realized who he was. So he's a porn star, and he goes by Girth Brooks. So they call, and nobody in the office even had any clue that this guy just seemed like a normal
Right,
person.
same thing here.
He
It's the
seemed like
same
a
thing.
young hustler that's just
Yeah.
out there like to sell. And he's this known Girth Brooks porn star.
Girth Brooks.
And they're like, they had to let him
Dale
go. And the
DeBone.
guy was like, I get it. I mean, it is what it is. He's like, I just been doing it for years, and I got in, and so I asked my buddy, I'm like, well, is he like that? He's like, dude, his shit was big.
Well, that's the first thing I asked this guy too. I go, I guarantee he's like going, holy shit, he's got a big cock, because
Jesus, I mean,
it ain't gonna be like pencil dick.
He's selling insurance.
He was selling life insurance. So here's these people. Northwestern is not just trying to sign up somebody like me for like $200 a month. They're trying to get some motherfucker that's worth $10 million. And then here Girth walks in there.
Right. Girth walks in there and goes, Mrs. Schwartzkopf, are you sure you don't want to sign this policy?
Here, boom.
Here. And the husband's sitting there feeling a little uncomfortable. And all of a sudden he realized, I know where I know him.
I know him.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be even worse if your wife knew him.
I knew I knew you.
It would be worse if your wife said, I know you. I'd be like, what the hell? How the hell you know?
I'd recognize that rod anywhere.
All right, I love you. All right, I just wanted to end with that, but it was true. It's a true story. Look up Dale DeBona.
Dale DeBone. That's funny.
Dale DeBone
and Girth Brooks.
And Girth Brooks, yeah. We're giving props to these 5 HIV drugs.
Yeah.
Girth Brooks, Dave DeBone.
Always looking to do a public service.
Dale DeBone. Yeah, we're just helping out the people out there.
Yeah. Good job.
Free promotion.
Adios. Remember,
Adios.
Don't get even.
Get odd.
Get odd. Later.
Tune in next time for another episode of the Oddfathers podcast. Stay odd, baby.